What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. So I wanted to jump on here and give you guys a little bit of an update. It's going to be funny because a lot of the, the haters that have been critical of the whole maneuver that we're doing in selling the XRP because of a coming crash. Oh man, they're going to have a heck of a time with the title of this video. They're just going to go off a cliff. Watch it. I promise you. They're going to be going nuts in the comment section. So I'm excited actually for all that because they're just going to reveal themselves. They're going to not even watch the video and they're just going to begin commenting away, which is what many of these people do. So stay tuned and get ready because it's going to happen. And what's going to happen, you ask, if you're just tuning on? Well, like I said, it is going to be the people that do not watch the video, but simply because of the title, they're going to go off a cliff in their mind, and they're going to begin commenting away in the comment section because they judge a book by its cover, right? So, yes, we are doing a specific maneuver. For those of you guys who are following our prophetic journey, where the Lord showed me in the most frequent, consistent, vivid, and confirmed dream series that I've had in this entire journey. And that's incredible because many people don't understand that. You know, I got a prophetic word last year that XRP was going to take off, and by golly, did it not only take off, but 92 cents on the 10th day, the week and a half period that God had showed me, it hits exactly 92 cents, the number he showed me, and that was the only number that I was stewarding at that time, guys, the only number, and it hit it on the 10th day in exactly a week and a half period. And when I said God speaks in code last year, this year, well, I just shared that testimony, and that actually confirms exactly what I was talking about. Because some of those people have not learned their lesson, and they're still coming on the channel and they're just talking a bunch of smack because why? Because they still haven't figured out that they were tricked. Because God, as Jesus told the disciples when they asked him, why do you speak in parables? He said, because the secrets of the kingdom are for you, not for them. And not a lot of people don't like that. They're like, no. I need it. Like God would tell me, God wouldn't cut me out. Okay, well, I mean, how's your heart? And how's your relationship with him? And, have you gone through all of the stages, in life that you have needed to go through, because of the relationship with him? All these things are important factors. But let me get to the point of what I'm making this video for. Earlier today, I did a video, and I was talking about this course that I just purchased. Now, here's the crazy part. The course is now, because of this, link that they gave me to share on my channel, I didn't even note it. I didn't even know. But the several people that have purchased this so far, they are learning. They may not even know. But I had to learn through seeing their sales coming through that they're getting it at a cheaper price than what I paid for it just a few days ago. So here's the situation. I don't know if you guys caught the last video, but I'm going to give, by the way, it is only today only. Now, I'm going to get into the details of that, but let me tell you why I titled the video the way that I did. The gentleman who built this course that I purchased just a few days ago, and I followed some of his, discussions And I took advantage of some of the opportunities that he mentions in his course. And I made profits while we're out here waiting. And, somebody asked me the other day or yesterday, I don't know. And in the comments, they said, hey, what is it that you're doing with your XRP and XLM right now, or XRP? And because I'm not really, doing a lot of the XLM except just this one maneuver that I did. And I went ahead and took a large portion out just because I wasn't fully solid on that. But in the meantime, what I did do was I purchased this dude's course. When I purchased his course, in 24 hours, I paid myself back for his course. And I messaged him and I said, hey, listen, I need to share this with people. And it was actually a reserved opportunity where nobody could share it except for them. So he said, call me. He gave me his phone number and I called him. We had an hour-long conversation. He connected me with his business partner. They got this created so that I could share this with you guys. And it's actually cheaper than what I bought it for. But wait for this. After the 24 hours where I basically paid myself back for the course itself, then what took place was even more incredible. I profited so well that I even recouped losses that I had accrued just from doing my own inexperienced day trading. I'm just not a trader, guys. And so I haven't had a lot of, positive results when I've done a lot of my own trading. I have learned how to, be an amateur, reading the charts, different things like that through the course that I shared a while back. Still do, I think, in the description section. And I appreciate that community. I appreciate what they've taught me. And there's even more that I haven't even studied because I've just been focused on doing this prophetic journey. I haven't been focused on trying to improve being a trader and all these different things. But that hasn't gone without its consequences when I have tried to initiate trades. And so his course was so productive that I recouped losses. And by the way, I'm not talking about any losses from XRP or XLM. But the reason I titled the video the way that I did, Crypto Better Than XRP, is this. He shared, and by the way, if you want this course, it's on my new crypto page that I'm building this website out, guys. I'm so excited about this. This is my lifeblood. You guys got to understand, my lifeblood is to share valuable opportunities that can change people's lives. That's why I share the gospel. That's why I share business opportunities. That's why every single thing that I have taken and grabbed a hold of in my life, nutritional products, weight loss products, I've done it all. And they added a benefit to my life at a particular time when I needed it, in a season when I needed it, just like this right now. And so this is what I love to do. I just love to share things that are going to change people's lives. Now, here's the kicker. While we are waiting, and the reason why I am safely, and I say safely, through the lens of my disclaimer, guys, because I'm following voices. Hello, I'm listening for what the Lord is speaking to me, right? And so I know that we can safely utilize some of the liquidity that has been used for these XRP trades. Why? Because it is at a place where I know it's going to hit its ceiling soon. And I also know it's nowhere near the 240 price point that the Lord showed me it was going to crash at. So I have been, with conviction, comfortable playing with some of my liquidity. And in doing so, I have done very well. And because I've done well, I've decided to come on here and share this with you guys. That's why I reached out to him and I said, hey, I'm trying to do this. Can you help? I got to get this to my community. I have literally followed you long enough, and I am more than sold on the value that you bring to the people. So this is going to equip you on a whole different side of things. And his story is that he sold his XRP, watch this, many, many eons ago, months ago. I can't remember what price point he sold it at. It was in the $2 range. And he said all of his XRP cult community chastised him, said, you're a flaming idiot, right? And he says, hey, think what you will. He says, just like the people comment on my stuff, they comment on his stuff. And he says, this XRP cult is something else, man. Like they just can't see anything other than you holding your XRP. He says, but because of what I've done, I now have multiple X. In other words, multiple times the amount to put back into XRP what I had before. And so, I'm not at that level yet, right? He has a lot of experience in the markets. So I'm not going for the gold like he is. I'm taking little bits. And I said in my last video, I did like 5% trades where I'm just scooping up some, little 5% profits. One of these coins did 85%, folks, in 24 hours that he's talking about. And so the link to the course is going to be in the description section of this. Go to my new crypto website that I'm built to share these things with you guys. Okay, it's permanentlifesolutions.com. Permanentlifesolutions.com if you're missing it. But you go to that page, you find the crypto page. Crypto Solutions is what it's called. You'll see my course on there where I teach people how to maneuver in crypto. By the way, I just had a lady message me back the other day because she had some questions. And she said, listen, I should have bought this course a long time ago. She says, this teaches me so many things that I didn't even know that I needed to know. I'm like, exactly. That's why I put it together, because I wanted to empower people with all the things that I've had to learn that I didn't even know that I needed. And so that's what I built the course for. Okay. So there you have that course if you want to. And that's the top one. The second one is my buddy that I'm telling you about the story. And so all you have to do, like I said, several of you, but you have to understand this. This is the last time I'm going to say this, hopefully. Today is the last day to get it at the sale price. I'm not kidding you. Today is the last day. And not only that, but anybody who buys it from this point forward, they are not going to get his picks that he's releasing through December of this year. And he's got another pick that he's going to be releasing later this week. But they're waiting on this. They have three things that they look at to make sure that it matches all of these variables before they release it to the community. And somebody asked me earlier, why are they closing this off if it's so good? Well, I said, first of all, the promotion is a promotion. Sales are sales. They don't last forever. That's for that. If that's what you're asking. I said, if you're talking about him no longer offering his picks to the community, well, he described that the community is so large that when his people begin to run with the picks that he shows them, it brings in so much liquidity into the market that it actually screws up all the algorithmic traders, that it literally just knocks them off kilter. They don't know what's going on. They said, what is going on with this? And so it can disrupt the market. And so he basically said that he's even trying to do it in stages. And so, like, this is how powerful this is, but the course itself teaches you how to locate these types of things that he's sharing regarding his picks. So I'm sharing this with you. This is my second video today on this subject. And I don't know, what I'm going to be sharing in the future, but stay tuned because it's all going to be on that website. Guys, I am building out this website for a reason. Guys, we are in a season right now, and not many can perceive it. I'm not kidding you. This crypto bull run, when it's over, it's over. We're not even there yet. Everybody thinks this is the bull run. We're not even there yet. And so, however, there's always going to be these stages in any particular market that you get into. Right now, we're about to be on one of the biggest bull runs that has ever been known in the history of crypto. And I want you to hear what I'm about to say. Because every bull run, every 4 years, Bitcoin drives the market and it goes up exponentially and people are just making bank. This bull run is very different. And so people who got into Bitcoin early on, and they're like, oh, I bought Bitcoin at $100. Now it's worth over 100,000. Obviously, that is something to write home about, right? It's an incredible success story. But many believe that those days are long gone. Not so, especially not with XRP, number one, because that's going to take off. And I'm telling you, the fourth quarter. And by the way, somebody else said, several of you guys said that Brandon Biggs also prophesied that after him and I spoke, and he responded to me on one of my posts. And he was saying, he's like, I think it's going to happen before the fourth quarter. That was when I posted that it would happen in the fourth quarter. Apparently, several days later, you guys commented to me and said that he came out with a video that he shared a prophetic word that it was going to happen in the fourth quarter. And that's crazy. Now, I'm not, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that Brandon Biggs copied the prophetic word that was given to me. Like, he is not going to do that. There's no way. He must have just gone into the spirit and in prayer and grabbed the same information that the Lord had given the prophet that prophesied over my life. And that's my point. So we have a little bit of time here. And of course, we have the strategic dip that's going to happen, the crash that we are all prophetically waiting on. But let me tell you something. Oh boy, the people that believe that the enemy, wait, watch this. This is what I'm talking about. The people that believe that the enemy is using me to knock people out of that XRP holding right now. Okay? Oh man, they're going to go crazy on this video. They're going to go crazy. They're going to be like, now I know that the devil is using him to steal our XRP wealth transfer. Because look, now not only is he talking about a crash, now he's trying to get your attention over here. Oh my gosh. How do I know these things, right? How do I know these things? Can I tell you how I know these things? Let me tell you how I know these things. Because number one, we all suffer from a case of carnality. Many of us have disrupted that in our lives so that we don't serve that voice anymore. But let me tell you something. I am very acquainted with that belief system, that understanding, and that even the ability to perceive things. Why in the world is this road so bumpy? Even the ability to, or even the understanding of how one could perceive things in that way. I get it. The problem is, it's not the case. And the reality is that wealth is being generated. However, God is causing me to honor this mighty warrior that put this course together, that I purchased his course the other day, and I already told you how successful I've been with it. In no way is this going to replace XRP. But I titled this video this way because I wanted to grab the attention of people so that they would be intrigued to take a listen. And it also matters as to when you apply the title, because there are cryptos that are better than XRP and XLM. How is that so? Because of the timing. Not that in the end they'll be better, but right now they'll be better. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so there's going to be times. Think about it. Just think about it. If you and I would have made some maneuvers where we followed this gentleman's picks, for example, and we were able to take our liquidity while we've been waiting on this leg of the journey and have taken the counsel of a man that has done incredible. And I have just been, let me tell you what I like about what he does. And don't forget, the link is in the description section under my new crypto page. It's the middle offer on my crypto page. So you got to click the top link, which is the link to my crypto page, in the description section of this video. Then when you get to my page, permanentlifesolutions.com/crypto solutions, you're going to see 3 offers there today. I'm going to be adding more. But the middle offer is the one that I'm talking about. And so my point is that what I like about him is several things. Number one, he's a Christian. He promotes Jesus Christ on his channels. But let me tell you something. That would not be a deciding factor on whether I take advantage of someone's content. And let me tell you why. Because I know God has gifted people that know him, and he's also gifted people that don't even know him. Every creative flow, every generational gifting and anointing that can even be on someone's life whose grandmother prayed for them, they can be operating in a blessing and not even know that it came from grandma's prayers. I'm telling you. And so I know God gifts people, and he makes these creatives that may not even know him. So if anybody can offer something that can add value to my life, as long as there's no heebie-jeebies attached to it, I'll take it gladly. If it's on the business flow, if it's in the, nutritional flow, if it's in the, like whatever, right? And that's what I love to share with people, is the value that we can garner in life to make life better for each and every one of us. So what I like about his crypto picks is he only picks ones that have real life utility, but it goes way beyond that. It goes beyond that to the place of the research that he does to find out what is backing these cryptos, what type of, technology, what type of, what's the purpose, the use case, and all these different things, who's backing it, and how little publicity it's gotten, even though this was a big one on one of the recent coins. And he said, there's a crypto that he just shared. This is the one that went up 85% in 24 hours. I'm telling you, imagine that. Now, I don't go for the, what's that saying? Don't go for the gusto, or don't go for the, I don't remember. Somebody type it in the comments. You'll help me figure it out later when I read the live chat. But don't go for the gusto. I think that's what it is. But anyway, he teaches you also in his courses, don't get greedy, man. Like, if it's a long-term hold, try to determine, like, great, just hold it for a while. Let it keep, producing those bull flags as it goes up and up and up and up, but scrape some profits. But what I was doing is I was taking his advice, and I was trying to do really short-term trades, and I was just scooping up 5% profits. 5% profits. And I was kind of watching it because I do have a small bit of, amateur-esque understanding of the charts. And so, I was watching to see if it would dip back, and then I would grab it, and then it would go up, and then I would close out the trade, just scooping up some 5% profits. And I did really well. And like I said, I grabbed some really good yields that helped me to recoup some losses of just me trying to do things on my own. And I am not a trader. And so, so God's been good, guys, and he's using this man. And I just want to, bring this up because, even there's going to be even more opportunities even in the future, guys, because we've talked about this. The crypto run this year. Oh, I forgot to mention that. This year is going to be a different bull run than any other year before, guys. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, what Brandon Biggs talks about with what Trump is building behind the scenes. And so, by the way, if you buy the course tomorrow, it's going to be, the offer is going to be off the table. I'm not kidding you. This is their, I begged them to do it longer. They said, listen, we've already extended this sale price. And what's crazy is the sale price you're getting it for is cheaper than what I'm getting it for. Somehow there's some sort of coupon attached to whatever they created for me, and you're getting it actually cheaper than what I got it for just a few days ago, which is crazy. And I'm just like, this is nuts. You guys are just being blessed. So do it if you have it, man. This is, if you've got the available resources to purchase this course, and, I'm telling you, I would highly recommend it. That's why I'm sharing this. But the picks that he offers, if you don't buy it today, they're not going to be offering this any longer with this course. Even if you buy the course at full price tomorrow, because you didn't take advantage of the promotion today, they're not going to be giving the picks with this course any longer. And I told you why, because they're driving the market. They literally have so much people that have so big dollars that are following what he's sharing, that when they pump this liquidity in, it drives the prices of these things like crazy. And they're disruptors in the market because of the group size that he has of people that are now bringing their liquidity into these trades. And so, and it makes sense when you understand this. And so, that being said, this bull run is going to be different than every other bull run we've seen, because Trump, like Brandon Biggs has prophesied, Trump is he's building the foundations behind the scenes, just as Brandon Biggs prophesied. Okay. And, and when he releases what he's been doing, listen, this Clarity Act, this, Genius Act, listen, as much as you would like to believe that those are the things that he's been building, I don't think that that's even close to what we're about to see. I think there's going to be a wild card that is pulled somewhere. Maybe that is what he was building, but because remember the court case, and many believe that prophecy already came to pass. This is what I love about prophecy, because you really don't know until it manifests. Think about watch this. I'll give you an example. You remember when in September of 2023, Joseph Z prophesied, when Israel advances, it's going to be the beginning of World War III. Okay. Then Israel advanced into Gaza. That wasn't it. Then Israel advanced into Iran, because Iran struck them for the first time. So we thought when they advanced into Gaza, that was the fulfillment of the prophetic word. World War III could happen at any moment now. But I believe the advancement that he was prophesying about, who knows? Maybe there's even a third one. We know nations are rising against nations, and it looks to be like we're creating what could look like the tremors of WWII. You know what I'm saying? But like, my emphasis is prophecy. This is why so many people get so disturbed. The people are like, oh, it blew right past 240. It blew right past 240. I guess your word was false. I told you guys when I shared that it could go past, I said it could dance all around. This is what people don't understand, man. It can touch the very thing that God was saying would be the point where it would happen. It could touch that point 7 or 8 times, guys. It doesn't negate the word of God. People don't understand this stuff. But this is going to be a bull run. Oh, and the other thing too. Do you remember the crypto trader that I'm friends with? And he's a professional trader, but watch this. He said, if you go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, where Bitcoin has dominated altcoins, he says there's been this ascending wedge that has been going on for 2 years, well over 2 years now. And he said an ascending wedge is a very bearish pattern, which means it's going to crash. And when the Bitcoin dominance crashes, that means altcoins are exploding. And he says, if you look at the history of Bitcoin dominance, never has there been such an extensive period of time where the Bitcoin dominance has gone on this very long journey of an ascending wedge. Long. And he says, when this occurs, we're going to see an altcoin season unlike we've ever seen before. Now, add to that what is happening with XRP, with the court case. That's what I was getting ready to say. Thank you, Lord. So the XRP court case, remember when Brandon Biggs prophesied that when the case is dropped, he said, I see when the case is dropped. But watch this. Nobody knew about an appeal back then. So my point is, everybody thought that it was going to just, go crazy when the case got dropped last year. But then they appealed. What if this was the case that Brandon Biggs was prophesying would be dropped? And when it's dropped, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And I know it's right around the corner, and that's why many people could not sell their XRP when I said it was going to crash, when the Lord showed me it was going to crash. And I get it, because they think it's going to happen any day now. I don't. I believe it's going to happen, in the fourth quarter. At least the spike is. We could drop the case today, and it could be a month or two before it skyrockets. But I would doubt that probably. I would think it would be more likely that the moment it gets dropped. And so this thing is supposed to have been dropped a long time now. Many times you see all these, people, these XRP enthusiasts that have all the Twitter channels and all these different things. And they're all like, oh, XRP case, probably going to get dropped this week, probably going to get dropped this week. We've heard that about 9,000 times this year. In fact, they said it was going to get dropped like during the crypto week. Nope. And I didn't think it was going to, because the Lord showed me there's a crash coming, which I believe is going to be first. So keep this in mind, guys. But while we're waiting on this explosion that I know is coming, I believe there's going to be a crash first. But before that, we have a little bit of time here to, potentially. Please don't do this unless you fully understand the risk of entering into trades on your own. However, I've been following the pics of what he's been releasing. And because crypto's been doing so well right now, the things that he's been discussing have been doing all that much more well. Like I said, 85% in 24 hours, guys. 85% in 24 hours. So anyhow, somebody said to me the other day, they're like, John, even if it goes to where it's supposed to go to 394, like you saw in your dream, XRP, they're like, that's only a few percent higher right now. Like, that's not even worth it. And, like, that's the crazy thing about what this guy refers to as the XRP cult. Like, you got to be careful, because if you become so fixated on XRP, and listen, I get it. It's the big one when it takes off. But we just got done talking about that. When it takes off is the key aspect here. Because until then, and remember this, like I said, this guy, he's been taking his XRP money and he's been trading it on all these other things this whole year. Since January, basically. I don't remember what month he cashed out of XRP, but I think it might have been March, February. And he basically said, said that he sold his XRP on his channel, and people are like, went crazy, just like they do with me, because it's the XRP cult, And so he said, like, how much now have I made that now I get to throw back into XRP, which he says is my favorite coin anyway. It's his, he knows it's going to be the biggest one. He knows it. And that's the crazy part, is when do you become so fixated on the one thing because you believe in the prophecies, or you believe in the, technology, or you believe in the use case, or you believe in its potential, you believe in its ability to explode when the case gets dropped, whatever causes you to favor XRP, when does it become actually self-destructive to hold that as an idol, to where you begin to force? And look at what this gentleman's done. He's taken his XRP money and he's flipped it multiple times over. So now when he enters XRP, like you and I, he has so many more XRPs. It's exciting for him. And so I'm taking a little, I'm not using a large portion of my liquidity. You understand? I'm taking, small portions, and I'm opening up a trade. And I think I've had 2 trades open at the same time, but no more. And even then, I'm not even going to try to guess what percentage it was of my bag, but a small portion. And that's my point, though, is because, like, you have to understand risk versus reward ratio, all these different things. And we also know it's going to come down. But remember, the crash itself, coming down is one thing. But the crash itself, the Lord showed me it would begin at the 240 price point. That's the only way I can interpret it, because remember, he showed me that 240 turned into 140 like that. And that's what I believe he was. And so, and we also saw, oh my gosh, so many more price points below that. But while we're waiting and while it's running, so the truth be told, guys, I've actually done better on what I've learned on his course than even trying to grab some profits right now on XLM and XRP. That's what I'm trying to say. Take it for what it's worth. And don't get me wrong. XRP is it's the one that the Lord continues to show me. And by the way, the vision, the dream that I had, I can't remember when it was, last week sometime, when I told you guys I saw that there would be a run up. And the only thing that God's shown me is XRP. And, I assumed that it could have meant a few coins. But really, truth be told, the only coin that God has shown me is XRP. I don't know why. Just it's all he's shown me is XRP, XRP, XRP. Every single price point, even when he told me it would rally 30 to 40%, XRP was the one that rallied 30 to 40% that month. Just like he said. So it's always been XRP. Like it's the only thing he's speaking to me, which is crazy. Because as much as I have even tried to ask him about XLM, I've just got nothing. It's been like crickets, which is fine. I want to steward what he's showing me, but let's just take that for what it's worth. And so it's been fun for me to grab these profits through this man's course. Like I said, just click the link in the description section for my new crypto page. You can even go there just by going to permanentlifesolutions.com and then go to the crypto page, permanentlifesolutions.com. And it's the middle offer. You'll see my buddy, my friend there in the middle of the page. And, grab that course. Like I said, it ends today, the sale price. And I don't know why they did it for me like this. I'm so thankful. They never mentioned they were going to do it for me like this. But it's cheaper for you than what I paid for it the other day. It's cheaper for you than what I paid for it the other day. That's crazy. However, if you buy it tomorrow at the full price, not only will the promotion be ended, where you won't get it at the discount, but they're no longer going to be adding you to the group where you get his private picks through the end of the year. And he said he's got another one that he's releasing this week. And I'm telling you, he testifies that he has about an 85% success rate with his predictions based upon what he understands with the market. 85%. I think that's conservative because I've been watching him. And everything that he responds to his critics with is 100% truth. Because there's always going to be the critics, especially when you have as many followers as he does. And every response that he's given, it's things that I already had seen. And he was telling the truth. And so it's because people do not follow instructions. Some people, they don't listen and they buy at the top after it's already pumped. He says, hey, listen, I think this is about to pump. They don't listen. Then it pumps. And then they decide to go in there. And then they complain. And he's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And so he's like, it's just the reason why I'm coming out with this is because I want to empower you guys. So many people have been so blessed by my crypto course, which is also at the top of that page. And they, they've messaged me and just said, listen, I'm just so thankful. And even the feedback that I've gotten on my course from people who have taken or who have commented, and they're like, listen, some of these videos, and they're like, listen, I took his course and it's very well explained. It's very well done. Obviously, that was my goal, to try to package it into a, elementary type of understanding so that the average everyday Joe could learn how to crypto. And then the lady today who messaged me and she says, I honestly should have bought this a long time ago. She says, I had no idea that there was things that I needed to know that were in here that I didn't even know I needed to know. I said, that's why I built that thing. So you can find both of those courses on my crypto page, guys. It's in the description section. But please understand my buddy, The promo ends today, and his picks will not be offered with the course any longer. After today, it expires at midnight Pacific Standard Time today. So keep this in mind, and I hope you guys, just continue to succeed on this journey. I found out, actually, I'm gonna leave that alone because it's just useless. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for the dip because we know it's coming. We don't know what's going to set it off. It could be the perfect storm. It could be the pullback accompanied with a shock wave. You hear what I just said? It could be a pullback, the natural crypto pullback, because we know it's already hit its all-time high. And after crypto hits its all-time high, there's naturally a pullback. Don't forget, guys, this could be the top, by the way. So if you haven't taken any profits out of XRP, even if you're not going to buy the dip, like if you need to take profits right now and this isn't a long-term hold for you, it's a great place to take some profits. They say always pay yourself back. You know what I mean? And so if this is the peak, and I'm not saying it is, because it could run up a little bit more, but it has since I told you guys I had another dream last week. And so that's the crazy part is many would ask me or themselves, how come God didn't show you this bull run, but now he's showing you just like he was before? And I've said this to you numerous times. Exactly. But this is where people have a hard time selling out to the Lord because they lean on their own understanding so much. They cannot fit him in their box. So he never gets to come in because they maintain that box. I'm surrendered. You've watched my attitude about the whole thing. I am not fazed. Why? Because I trust him. I trust him. And it's and I don't think anything's wrong. Everybody else does, though. They're like, no, I'm over here I'm not sweating nothing because I'm still winning and I'm going to keep on winning because I'm continuing to follow his voice. Other people, though, they're they can't even see that I'm winning. Their deception prevents them from even seeing that I'm winning. It's crazy. That's the power of opinions. That's the power of perspective. Your perspective can be so skewed where you could be blinded from seeing what's right in front of you. It's crazy. So, anyhow, grab this course if you're like me and you want just add or continue to add. One of the things that blessed me so much was my ability to pay myself back for the purchase of the course in my first trade. That's cool, right? And, and then I even got so many good results just in a couple of days that I even recovered some of the losses that I had obtained from trying to do things my own way outside of the prophetic words. Had nothing to do with prophetic. Totally just me trying to trade on my own, which I'm not a trader. And so I'm just so thankful for the investment that I made in this course. I'm very thankful because any tool that will empower me in this degree, I'm very, very thankful for. All right, guys, love you, appreciate it, and take care. God bless. See you later. Bye-bye.